Well, after the debacle that was Secret Invasion, Marvel is back in familiar waters here with Season 2 of Loki. I've watched the first 4 episodes. I'm going to let you know what I think about it next. How's it going, everybody? It's the Outlaw John Rocha. Welcome to the Outlaw Nation in this reaction to the first 4 episodes of Loki Season 2. My favorite Marvel series is Loki Season 1, so I was very much looking forward to seeing Loki Season 2. I could not believe it when they sent us the links, and it was the first 4 episodes of a 6-episode season, but I was very excited to take a look and see what we were going to get here. How much of the storylines from the first season were going to be fleshed out even more after what happened with He Who Remains and Sylvie and Loki at the end of that first season. And, of course, Renslayer as well, Ravonna Renslayer, what happened with her, and Mobius, B-15, all of it, finding out where their storylines are, where we're going with their storylines, what's going on from the trailers with the time slipping or the glitching that he's doing there, Loki, and how they're going to work in these new characters like OB, QUAN's character, and Brad Wolf, played by Rafael Casal, how they were going to work them into the series. And before I give you my overall assessment, I just want to assure you all this is a non-spoiler review. Non-spoiler review, not going to spoil anything here for you. I got to say right off the bat, I absolutely loved the first 4 episodes. They were fantastic. How they picked up where we left off at the end of Season 1 and fleshed it out even more, expanded the world, the Loki universe, even more with all of these characters. We got into some scientific stuff, got into some real emotional stuff, got into reconnecting with these relationships, and as I said, introducing these newer characters and seeing how they fit into the Loki universe and their roles in all of it. I thought it so worked so well. The basic stuff that's going on here is Loki and Mobius and B-15 and OB and Casey want to save the TVA. Ravonna wants to save the TVA as well, but from her own point of view. So the end goal is the same for everybody involved pretty much, but they're just going about it in different ways. And you find out more about He Who Remains and his role in the TVA, what that was all about. So there's a lot of stuff that gets exposed and explained as we go along. And I was happily surprised by how much they kept the vibe and the mood and the atmosphere of the first season and then really expanded upon it even more into this new season and giving us new obstacles, new challenges, new environments to put our characters in, new motivations, and some real honest discussions between these characters about what needs to happen here in this world of Loki and in this world of the TVA. The way we get back in touch with the bromance between Tom Hiddleston's Loki and Owen Wilson's Mobius is so well done. Of course, the way we left it off, we're not sure. Like, does he remember? Does he not remember? And then what we see in the trailer, of course, is them coming together to figure out what's going on with the TVA and what's going on with He Who Remains. There's a lot of that going on here in this particular first 4 episodes of the show, but their connection, their chemistry, Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston, just great stuff. And speaking of chemistry, Sylvie coming back in, Sophie DiMartino, her chemistry with Tom Hiddleston is so great as well. There's so much pain, shared pain between them, shared angst, shared a heartbreak between them about what's happened in their lives and then what happened in Season 1 between them. All of the weight of that comes through in the interactions between both of them throughout the first 4 episodes, both good and bad, which I really enjoyed as well. I really enjoy what we get with WUNMI MOSAKA as B-15 and the tasks that she has to take on and handle there as she's trying to figure out on her side what's going on with the TVA and kind of counter these opposing forces any way that she can there at the TVA. EUGENE Cordero coming back as Casey. Great humor here, and some expanding out of Casey's character, which I really like. Some new duties, some new tasks, some new abilities that are presented to decorate Casey that I really enjoyed seeing in the show as well. Ravonna Renslayer, her role in all of this expands as the first 4 episodes go along, and we see what her point of view is, what her desire is, and why she wants to put things together, and how she wants to put things back together at the TVA. So all of that is a part of this that I think is fantastic running throughout this series for sure. And the new actors that we have, QUAN as OB, So great. I mean, it's like Data grown up and he's now working for the TVA. That's essentially how I would describe his character. He's incredibly smart. There's a history with him that we discovered through the first 4 episodes, and his knowledge of the TVA and his knowledge of being able to fix all this technical stuff really drives the plot forward, because he's the one that they have to check in with about what they need to do in order to fix certain things at the TVA. So his parts in all of this, and his connections with Mobius, his conversations with Loki, his conversations with Casey that come on here, because we discover some new things about Casey and their connection, and a guy who tells the truth in his own way, whether you like it or not. And another guy who does that is Brad Wolfe, that character played by Rafael Casal, who becomes Zaniac. So great to see him in this show. Another truth teller to Loki and Mobius, telling them things they may not want to hear but need to hear in these moments. And there's some great humor with all of the actors involved throughout it as well. Look, the stakes are pretty high, because basically if they don't fix the TVA, we've seen all the branches of the timeline, it's going to shatter the timeline. There's certainly a huge weight that's hanging over everything, every interaction, every back and forth, and every decision they're making on these journeys and on these adventures. But there's still time for humor. There's a great scene between Loki and Mobius when they're having key lime pie that I think is really great. And there's some fun scenes in the McDonald's as well that you've seen in the trailers. And so there's some great moments to find little moments of humor, little bits of humor, and they're placed correctly. You know, one of the big things with Marvel in the past and some of their shows, some of their movies, is how the humor is used, and a lot would say overused, in certain moments in order to be like, hey, we're cool, we're hip, we're making the jokes, when it actually works better when it's organically in the flow of a scene, and it's meant to kind of alleviate some of the tension in the scene, but not sacrifice the stakes. Well, I'm proud to say that in all 4 episodes, for the most part, they do that. I think the only episode where it gets a little wonky with the humor is episode 3, and I think them going back to where they go back to and what they experience, I think a little bit of that kind of bothered me overall. But every other moment of humor works so well. And look, you can't talk about this show without talking about Jonathan Majors and He Who Remains. He is a part of the show. He is a big focus as we go in deeper into the episodes. And I think Jonathan Majors does a fantastic job playing He Who Remains and what he's going through as He Who Remains, and as Victor Timely discovering all the stuff that he's discovering. I think it's a fun journey to go on in the show. And also the themes of the show, exposing this idea of accepting things that have been given to you, accepting systems, accepting institutions, accepting ways of life. All those things kind of dance around throughout the whole first 4 episodes here, questioning with the TVA's role, questioning whether the TVA is good for everybody. Some people defending the TVA, some people not wanting to see what their variant lives were actually like, and just want to stay with the life they have in the TVA. So that was some surprising stuff that you discover as the show goes along as well. So there's a lot of great conflict that makes sense when you look at these characters and the decisions that they're making and the motivations they have. They lay them out very concretely so you understand why certain people are doing the things that they're doing, and I really enjoyed that. Miss Minutes, Tara Strong, has a big part in the 4 episodes here. She is so good, and some interesting acting work that she gets to do, Tara Strong here. The set designs are fantastic. The special effects are just jaw-dropping, especially when they're out in space for certain things, as we've seen teased in the trailer. All of that. And episode 4 ends with a jaw-dropping, shocking ending that will make you wonder how they're going to figure this all out in the last 2 episodes, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, the special effects, set design, the construction, the attention to detail, and the story construction all completely works, along with the acting and some damn good direction here from the directors involved in this one, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, and some great writing here from Eric Martin and Michael Waldron as the creator. But really, at the end of the day, this is called Loki. That means it's Tom Hiddleston's show, and Tom Hiddleston does not disappoint in these 4 episodes. So overall, just fantastic stuff. Highly, highly recommend. I think you all are going to enjoy it. I do think episode 3 is the weakest of the 4 because of some of the yuck characteristics or humor that plays out and some of the stock characters that pop up to be a part of that episode. but overall it doesn't take away from the journey that we're going on with these characters and what we're discovering both on a technological side of things and an emotional side of things with all of these characters. And there are some pretty brutal moments as well that I think are going to surprise some of you. And there's some cussing in this, so just letting you know, there's some cussing. And there is a post-credit scene at the end of episode 1, so watch out for that. Don't dump out during the credits. There is something there. So, all right, well, when you get a chance to watch it, let me know what you thought about it. Always open to y'all's points of views, because y'all have some great points of views and perspectives and opinion and analysis. All right, look for my spoiler reviews of this, probably my reaction after each episode with you all, and then the spoiler reviews on the Geek Buddies as well. And we'll see who pops in or who wants to pop in to be a guest with us as we do these every week on the Geek Buddies. Look out for that coming soon on the Outlaw Nation. All right, until then, take care of yourselves, be well, enjoy Loki Season 2, and I'll talk to you next time with another brand new reaction video here on the Outlaw Nation.